Looking over to our Reign, as Bell mentioned, again, kind of a mixed bag, more of on the disappointed side. The Reign played 2 matches over the past week, one on the road and one back at home. The road game was August 2nd at Racing Louisville. That was a 1-1 draw. That it was tough. Both of these games tough to get a lead early on and then concede and either come with a draw and then a loss, as you can see. They're the game for the game against Louisville. Forward Megan Rapinoe, 1 assist, 81% passing accuracy, 5 chances created, and an 8.5 match rating. August 7th versus Houston back at home, and Kim Little's last game on her loan, unfortunately. Seattle. The Reign would lose that one 2-1. Player of the game again, Megan Rapinoe. Rapinoe this time 1 goal, so her first goal of the 2022 season, an 8.3 match rating, 2 chances created, and 5 total shots. It's frustrating because the Reign continue to have the issue of putting a ton of offensive attack on their opponents and not being able to finish it. The Louisville game, the Reign were able to get a goal off of a corner kick, and then right before half, they gave up a goal, and it's tied. And it's like you slip up for just a little bit, and the other team takes advantage. The same thing essentially happened against Houston. It just took place later in the game. Both goals for Houston came between 2 minutes of each other. The first one was a penalty that probably shouldn't have been called a penalty. And the other one was a breakaway as a lapse in defense. 2 minutes. All it took was 2 minutes, and you're looking at a loss as opposed to a win or even a draw. So these are really frustrating for you because, like with the Sounders, the Reign in the NWSL, the 6 top teams in the standings make the playoffs. You're sitting at 6 right now. You're kind of teetering there, and there are other teams like Kansas City. I believe you're lower than Kansas City now, who have jumped you. So it's really up to you. I mean, the talent's there. I talked about it in the article I had for this past game, where you've got Jordan Heitema, who is really young and really talented. Megan Rapinoe up top. Her experience is invaluable. Bethany Balcer is out the last few games with an illness. She had the second most goals in the league last year. Jess Fishlock in the midfield. Rose Lavelle in the midfield. Those are just a few of the players on this roster. And you've got to put it all together consistently. So frustrating for sure, but the talent's there, and you still got some time, but you'd like to secure a higher spot in the standings. And then hosting a playoff game at Lumen, how great would that be, right? In terms of injury-related news, unfortunately, I believe, as we previously reported, Angelina on the 5th was placed on the season-ending injury list. On Saturday, July 30th, the 22-year-old midfielder suffered an injury to her right knee during the Copa America final while representing Brazil, rupturing her anterior cruciate ligament and lateral meniscus, that's brutal in every right. So wishing Angelina a quick, successful recovery, but just hard feels for her. I mean, she's still very young, as mentioned, but that's just really tough. And at least glad that Brazil was able to get that win, so she was able to be part of that. Looking into team-related news here on the 3rd of the month, Sofia Huerta was named the NWSL Player of the Week. The National Women's Soccer League announced that it was naming Huerta as the league's Budweiser Player of the Week for her contributions in the Reign's win over Angel City FC, that 3-2 comeback. Huerta had the goal and the assist in that comeback, making her the team's 3rd player this season to notch a sort of performance like that in the same game. On the 4th of the month, some more news of Reign players making some highlights for the league. Bethany Balcer and Jess Fishlock were named to the NWSL Best 11 for July. Balcer played in 3 of the Reign's 4 matches through the month, contributing a total of 257 minutes to the Reign's campaign that month. The dynamic forward scoring 2 goals in July while also adding an assist, so 3 total points there for you. Currently ranking 6 in the goal scorers across the league. Fishlock, on the other hand, last year's MVP, played in all 4 of the Reign's matches in the month and played the full 90 minutes twice. Like Balcer, she scored 2 goals and added an assist for the Reign in July. The reigning MVP started her month off with a bang, scoring the opening goal in the Reign's 2-0 win over North Carolina, and then assisting on Bethany Balcer's goal later in that match. So 2 players there that kind of represent I would want to say pass, because obviously Fishlock won the MVP last year, but two players, as I mentioned, that make this club great and show you the type of talent that they've got on the roster. So hoping to get Bethany back, because I believe she's missed the last 3 games due to illness. Looking ahead, the Reigns sit at a 5-win, 4-loss, 6-draw record, 6th in the NWSL with 20 points. Different from the Sounders, 6 draws. That's a lot. That's a lot of points you put on the table, and you could have been way higher. Looking ahead, they play next week on the 14th versus Gotham FC with a noon start time. Sister club Olympic Lyonnais will be at this game as they start a U.S. tour, so that will be pretty cool.